So here we have a walking foot. A walking foot sometimes is also called an even feed foot. When you're just doing your normal sewing on your sewing machine, underneath here you have teeth, and those teeth are pulling your fabric through. They're sort of the unsung heroes. They're called the feed dogs of the machine, and they pull your fabric through. Now that's great, but once you get layers of fabric, so maybe you've got 2 or 3 layers, maybe you're doing some quilting or you're doing something that's thicker, maybe you're bag making, then if you're just pulling the bottom, those teeth are just pulling the bottom layer, then you'll find that the top layers can slip. So the idea of the walking foot is that every time this little lever sits above the needle screw, so as the needle comes down, these teeth go up, and as the needle goes back up, these teeth come down, and they provide a second set of teeth on the top. So not only have you got the teeth that are pulling from your actual machine, you've now got a set of teeth on your foot that pull the top layer as well. So they pull in synchronized. They pull in a synchronized manner. Okay. Now the presser foot doesn't need, the walking foot doesn't need the foot holder. Okay. So with the darning foot and the walking foot, you don't need the foot holder. They will attach directly to the shank of the sewing machine. Okay. It's worth, again, do you remember when we did the original look at the zipper foot? It's worth doing your measurements, you know, how far from where the needle goes in to the edge of your foot. Again, it's 3/8 I think here, or to this line here where the second set of teeth come in. That's normally about 1/4 of an inch. It's worth making those measurements, also the measurement to the front, 1/2 inch, so that you understand the dimensions, I'm going to say the geography, but the dimensions of your foot, so that it allows you to, as you put your fabric in, and you maybe you have your fabric and it's here, you would know that, or I would know now, having measured it, as my needle goes down, then I'm going to be sewing 3/8 of an inch from this side. If my fabric was here, just in this gap between the two, then I would say I would be sewing at a pretty good 1/4 of an inch. Okay. If I sewed up to the edge here and I stopped, then I would probably know that I'd stopped 1/2 an inch away. So it's worth making those notes of the measurements and understanding them. When you put this foot on, your shank goes here, and this goes over the needle screw, because the action of this going up and down with the needle is what creates the walking foot action. These tend to be a bit more expensive, but if you're doing anything with any thicknesses, they're really, really, really useful. Some machines, you can see my machine here, actually comes with a feed system, and you just attach, it has actually feeds, it has something called an AccuFeed in it. So different machines will come with different ways that you can attach a walking foot, or have different mechanisms for walking feet, but super duper useful.